Hello guys and welcome back to Ninjago News TV. Today is part 2 of the locations and other things that should be sets, and I'm super happy because today I'm actually joined by Kaitana from the Ninjago Discord. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And yeah, so we're going to be collaborating on this video. We'll each share 4 locations or other things that we think should be sets. So without further ado, let's get started.
So first of all, we have the Cyrus Borg Tower that we first saw in Season 3. This set would come with Cyrus Borg, Pixel, Zane and Cole in their teaching uniforms, Lloyd in Golden Ninja form, and two skilled on a field trip, 2 security guards, Pi-4, Cryptor, Mindroid, and maybe 2 other Ninjroids. This setting, as we first saw in episode 27, The Surge, is an immensely large build. I would picture it as a tower or building about the size of the Temple of Ejitsu or even Ninjago City set. This set would look amazing from the front, and there would still be access to the interior from the back. Along with a couple of mechs and planes that we saw all around New Ninjago City in Season 3. However, these would be under the Overlord's possession and could be used to fight off a ninja. Since the set would be extremely big and has a stunning 14 minifigures, the set would cost about £200, about $250.
The next that we have is the Serpentine Tomb from Season 3, which is visited in The Curse of the Golden Master. The minifigures would include Scales, Scales Jr., Kai, and the Nindroid Warrior. This set would be more of an open-based set, and I envision it as being somewhat similar to the SOG headquarters. However, this design would be much more vibrant in colors. You'd have a few sections, of course. One would be the campfire where Acidicus told the story of the Golden Master. Another might include the small little river flowing through the tomb. There'd also be some pieces to represent the neon lights in the tomb and the stalactites hanging down. Lastly, there would be the cracked door that is essentially the exit of the room. This scene would represent the Nindroid attack in that episode, and I estimate that it would be around $35 or £30.
This set is obviously from Season 4, and the minifigs included in the set would be Klaus, Zugu, Samurai X, which back then was obviously Nia, Sensei Garmadon, Skylar, and Kai. I can imagine this set with other builds such as a prison or stands where Nia and Garmadon were held captive, like we saw in episode 41, The Forgotten Element, where the servant is later killed by Cole with help from the rest of the elemental fighters. Well, £40-50, and that's about $60 due to a fairly large build and 6 minifigures.
Next is the Museum of History from Season 7. The minifigures would include Kai, Dr. Saunders, Acronix, and actually Cyrus Borg, and I'll explain that later. There are 2 possible outcomes for the set. One, you could have it in Day of the Departed, where there is a Hall of Villainy, and all the villains' minifigures are actually displayed. There's also a Season 7 setting, but I do feel that the Season 7 setting would be much better. The museum would have the main hall, which would include the portrait of Kai's parents, the sarcophagus in which Borg was imprisoned, and more. You'd be able to open and close the sarcophagus so you could actually put Borg in it, and the objective of the set would kind of be to save Borg. There would also be that hidden chamber, which was the lair of the Time Twins, right behind the main hall. And there wouldn't be much more play features, but the design would actually stand stronger. The price would be around $50 or £42.
Next we have Dr. Julian's Treehouse, which we saw in Season 1. The minifigs in this set would be Zane, Jay, and 217, possibly Acidicus and Spitter. Similar to the Lighthouse Siege, with an opening feature to open the tree to have access to all the features of the set. It would easily close to disguise itself as a normal tree on a snowy day. To even out this set, a tree horn would also be included. You know the thing Zane fought when he unlocked his true potential? Which was supposed to protect the forest from the tree horns, which would have flexible limbs which can play the creature in different positions. The robot would also have play features in it, such as hidden spring-loaded shooters in its arms or something like that. Big set may cost up to £70, which is $80, which is a similar price to Lighthouse Siege, which we all know and love.
Garmadon's Monastery from Season 3. The minifigures would include Sensei Garmadon, Lloyd, Jay, Nindroid Drone, and a Nindroid. This would kind of be like Wu's Monastery, but even better in some sorts. For one, it would actually include that water wheel that the ninja used to get away, and you could actually be able to turn it around. Moreover, you would be able to detach the wheel just as it did in the actual show, so it would actually mimic the show itself. As for the inside of the monastery, it would be a simple training room with heavy emphasis on stickers and designs. This would replicate the Nindroid attack on his monastery, so of course there would be Nindroids. Lloyd and Jay would come with their Technoblades, and Garmadon would have a staff. It wouldn't be as big as it actually was in the show, and it would be kind of downsized a little bit. It would be around $45 or 38 pounds.
My favourite out of all of these has to be the Caves of Despair. This is from the pilot season, and the minifigs included in the set would be Samukai, Garmadon, maybe 3 skeletons, possibly Crunch and Knuckle and another plain skeleton warrior, and also the good guys of the set being Kai, Cole, and Wu. Despite the fact that this setting was visited twice in the show, I've decided to use it for the first time we saw it in the pilot season, because I think it played a bigger role and showed more significance than when the Ninja visited it again in Season 5. Large circular build that some people like to call an open base playset, though with only one main entrance to the inside. This would also have mini builds that the skeletons would be working on in the middle of the set, along with various traps or play features displayed around the edge of the build. It's fairly large and has a large amount of minifigs. It could retail for about £60, which is $70.
The last thing we have to share with you in this video is the Celestial Clock, from Season 2 actually. The minifigures would be Kozu, Evil Nia, a Stone Armor Warrior, Wu, and Cole, though really the hero choices could actually be deferred around. You could have Lloyd, Jay, you could have any combination really. I just felt it was most appropriate to include Wu and Cole. This set would have multiple aspects of the Celestial Clock that you'd actually be able to turn them around. As you can see in this picture, there's many different aspects. Now, this build is very abstract, so you'd have to actually make it a little easier to be put into a set. You'd be able to turn around these different parts of the clock, just as it did in Season 2 when it was counting down. Different parts turned in different ways. For the actual face of the clock in the very center, you could either have a sticker with the hands, or alternatively, you could have a sticker for the actual face of the clock, and actual tangible hands that you could be able to turn around. It would include a perch for the Helmet of Shadows, and actually the Helmet of Shadows would be included. As for the price, it would be around $30 or 25 pounds. So that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for joining Kaitana and me. I really had a blast doing this video with you, and we should definitely collab sometime in the future. If you want more videos, suggest your ideas and stuff, I'm also still looking for questions for my Q&A, so in my Discord server, please drop those questions. I really need them. I really want to answer them. And anyways, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.